So, where was family? Where was the last family reunion I went to? I might not have been there since.
Did they announce the next one?
Oh,
It's
probably.
Vegas.
I wasn't listening.
It's back in Vegas.
Is it?
Again? Really?
Yeah, I think they had to sign a 2-year
I got you.
contract.
That meant they had some problems there, though. I'm not going to focus on the problems, but they had some issues. All right, let me see if I can do this. Remember the problems I have with this? I'm going to go to here.
Just make sure that your Facebook is muted.
Okay. It must be because I don't hear a feedback. All right. So is it 8? Well, we got 1 minute. Listen to me, all ready to go.
Yeah, he stirred up. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I'm excited. I had an interesting thing happen that I thought was pretty cool. 8 o'clock. So, hey, let's go ahead and get started. So, hey, I'm glad we're back at it. Julie's here. Julie, good morning. I was thinking about you because here's first of all, I hope you all been doing great. I hope yesterday was awesome. I'm pretty sure tomorrow's going to be better. Let's talk about today, though. I'm going to start with talking about yesterday, though. A couple days. My plan was to talk from the hotel, or not even from the hotel, from the floor of the convention center. I was going to do this podcast. I didn't factor in it was going to be a 2-hour time change, which hits you two ways because I was there with my wife and daughter and my sister-in-law. So we were going out till midnight.
Oof.
Right. Which this is 2 hours, they're still sleeping back there. And I probably could have worked it out, but there's really nowhere to go in those casinos to sit down if you're not pulling the one-armed bandit or, playing blackjack. There's just nowhere to go. All right. Yeah. I was playing with Mark. It was weird. And then I would have had to do it from the bathroom in my hotel room. And you guys might not know this, but I'm cheap as can be. We don't get huge rooms, right? The bathroom is almost a curtain separating the living area. A little more than that, but not much. So it just wasn't feasible. So I apologize for that. So that was cool. But here, and so I was thinking about Julie, like, oh my word, this is harder than it looks. So I appreciate being on here like you are. Okay, so let's do this. Here's another thing. Tony Robbins spoke 2 days ago, I guess it was, or whenever it was. He was the headliner, and he was great. I mean, he's Tony Robbins, for Pete's sake. He was great. But if y'all haven't been to family reunion or to any convention of any size, when the headliner speaks, he's in a room. I don't know how many chairs are there, 2,000 maybe. I don't know, a lot. There's probably 35 big screens for those that aren't up front. But people start lining up at these double doors to get in. And then they rush for the best seats, and it's chaos. And Keller Williams loves it, and they have cameras going, and they're taking pictures of all the fanatics running for everything. Yeah. And I stand out because I'm head and shoulders above everyone, and I'm elbowing poor little ladies and, and just running past people like a bowling ball. And, but that wasn't the case because, I'm in top level coaching, and I've got some status and whatever, all that. But I thought, what? A major part of what I went out there for was to see Tony Robbins. And I want to be up front and, I want to do all that. And I had my whole itinerary laid out and Tony was the last thing. So I was there. So I went and stood early. It started I think they opened the doors at 2:00, or it started at 2. Maybe that's what it was. And so I got there at 1, and I'm like third in line at the door, or 3 rows back, 30 people maybe ahead of me. And I'm standing there, and pretty soon the line, it fills in behind you like peanuts in a packing box, and it's being shaked, and it gets tighter and tighter as the energy gets bigger and bigger, right? And oh my word, what a lesson in human behavior. Then I probably ended up 40 rows back from the people who wanted it more than I do. And I'm big. I'm 6'3", 230 pounds, and I'm wide. I'm not a thin 230. I'm a solid 230, which means I'm probably way more than that. But I'm big. And these people in front of me were like using me as some sort of a barrier to keep from getting killed. squish. But it was amazing how many people cut in line and, oh, I'm with him up there. I can't remember his name, but I'm with him. I saw him yesterday. You know, all this shit, right? But I'm thinking in the back of my mind, this is cool because I'm sure the people in my seating group aren't doing this. They're calm, cool, and collected at the back, knowing they have reserved seats. But, you know, I don't like to tempt fate that way. So I hold my ground. I'm there, and they finally let everybody in. And I'm trying to be cool. You know, I'm kind of fast walking, slow running. Next thing I know, I'm sprinting. It's like, what's happening? And I'm getting passed by old ladies in wheelchairs and everything. It's just weird. But they're committed. They're committed. They want to get there. And I don't blame them, because if you can sit pretty far back, these are big, big rooms. So I finally get there, right? And there's a few people ahead of me already. You know, I get to my area and there's like 30 seats already saved in one poor soul trying to guard them. So I get there and I sit down. And this Karen, and her name probably is Karen. If you're on here, Karen, I'm sorry if your name's Karen, but I'm going to use the word Karen in a derogatory way. She looks at me, kind of looks me over, looks at me. She says, "Hey, John." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. She knows who I am. This is cool. I wonder if she watches our thing here in the morning." But she says, "You're in the wrong seat." Like, okay. I don't know. My badge says I'm in the right place. No, you're in the wrong seat. You're going to take somebody else's spot. I'm not going to tell anybody, but you're in the wrong seat. Like, okay, thank you. And just then one of the ushers, or whatever you call them, comes up, because she could tell there was some negative energy. And she looks at my badge. She says, "Sir, you're in the wrong seat." And Karen's like, I said, "Oh, I don't know. I thought I had you're up here," she says. And she pulls me up front. I'm literally 3 rows back from the front. And this chick is like 40 rows back. It was so great. So I get my seat and I look over, and there's literally one seat that would have been better than mine. And is it Mark King? I think Mark King's his name, right? I go up to Mark King. He's standing there and said, "Is anybody sitting here?" He says, "Yeah, that's Monica's seat." And so it was Monica Reynolds' seat. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I sit one back and one over from Monica Reynolds, and all the Keller Williams brass is there. I think, Shane, I showed you the picture I got with Jay, and I mean, they're all there, right? And all the guest speakers from the Summit CEO and all that crap. So it was kind of cool. So I'm sitting there, and this chick walks up, Karen walks up. "Oh, John, I did you a favor." I'm like, "Yeah, you did, baby. Thank you." Yeah. What a
Wasn't
thing.
intentional.
And then
but
Tony
you did.
Robbins comes out. I mean, he's literally standing on top of me. It was really, really quite cool. I hadn't expected that. I'm glad it happened the way it did. But I guess my point in that whole story is, I was prepared to do what I had to do to get to where I wanted to get. And then I was able to execute on that plan. And then some obstacle hit, but I was able to deal with that, and it ended up even better than I even wanted. And I think that's kind of what we do on the daily, and certainly on a long period of arc of a career. So what I'm telling y'all here is, be prepared, and we'll get into it, to be a good realtor. So, and be prepared for obstacles, for markets to turn, and for people to tell you you're in the wrong place, and whatever, and just keep going, and you'll end up even better. So I thought that was a nice little parallel. And then I'll just take it further. Tony Robbins, before he comes out, he's got this guy who looks like he's been teaching aerobics for 700 years. You know, he's just tighter than a Thai ball game, wearing tighter outfit. And these two gals, and they start jumping around the music. You're in the moment, blah, 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 right? And it's go time. Yeah. And there's lights are going everywhere. I didn't know if I was having a seizure or what was going on. And people were moving. I find myself dancing. I can't dance, right? And I'm dancing. I'm moving. I'm getting the energy, right? And then Tony comes out, you know, "Tony Robbins." All right, I'm cheering like, "Oh my God, Tony Robbins." Like, all right, cool. And then, you know, he's like, "How you guys feeling?" And my heart's going. I'm feeling it, right? I'm into it. And it's such a good thing. He's like, "Yeah, you got to get moving Focus. You can focus better when you're moving. You got to get your body alive. You got to do all this. You probably sit in a chair. You're doing whatever for hours and hours. You got to get up and shake it out. And there was time and time again during his talk where he's like, all right, boom, you're in the moment. Everybody's up and dancing and moving because you do. And I'm thinking, God damn it. I'm going to do this throughout my day for the rest of my life. I'm going to shake my legs. I'm going to shake my arms. And I'm going to move around and I'm going to get back in the moment, into the focus, right? Because it does. It changed how I listened. It changed how I was able to absorb content. And it was cool, right? And it's hokey until you do it, right? I remember Mike Ferry used to have that before everything started. Turn to your left and tell your person you think they're great. Turn to your right, right? It's awkward. It sucks. It's all that, but it pulls you into the moment and everything's higher and more alive. So I would encourage all y'all to do that. Okay. Throughout the day, somehow, some way. And I know I'm kind of stealing this. I just want to give you guys some of the thoughts I took from this. If you have anything, throw it out there, but I'm just going to keep rambling with some thoughts. The other thing that seems to be a thread that wound through the portions that I was participating in was focus. You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. Don't focus on things you don't want or need. Okay. And it started out with Gary talking right away at the CEO Summit. It's time to get back. And all right, let me go back. Jeff and I were talking about this. We've been talking about this on this show for a long time, right? Which means we're well trained. Okay. It doesn't mean we're smarter than everyone else. It just means we probably have better training, a little bit more experience, and we're just right place, right time a little bit more than some other folks. But what was rewarding and inspiring, at least to me, was the fact that we're preaching the right sermon. All right. And that is, we got to be salespeople. When times are easy, you start adding these layers of extra stuff that aren't core necessarily to your business. And your business is helping people, one, buy, or two, sell real estate. Simple as that. How can you make their experience better, easier, or less stressful is what you should be focused on 100% all the time, forever. How to help people buy and sell real estate. Okay. Blogs are cool. Podcasts are cool. Social media, all that stuff is stuff you can do when things are rolling. But never, ever forget, and it's easy to slip away from the center when things are easy because you get rewarded for failure in a heavy seller's market like we experience. But it's time to get back to the job, helping people buy and sell real estate. Okay. And we've been talking about that. And the way you do it, I'm going to do it on you right now because it's been a couple of days. I got to get it out. You got to lead gen, right? You got to preview property, and you got to study the market trends. If you do those three things, all right. So let's talk about for a quick minute. What do people who want to buy or sell real estate need? They need to know what's for sale, or how do I compare what is for sale so I can determine a value. And really the only way you can do that is comparing and contrasting this property relative to others that have sold recently or are currently listed for sale, right? That's the only way you're going to figure out what the current market value is. All right. And then you can give some more guidance. Well, what's going to happen? Well, I can't predict the future, but I can tell you based on the past, when this has happened in the past, this was the result then. Now, the past is not a predictor of the future, but it's a pretty good one, right? Things tend to repeat. So when you can do that and you can tell people you've actually been in and offer that kind of guidance, they will love you. Which brings this back, and Jeff told me you all been talking about value. You got to bring value to your clients. You just got to, because when you bring value, you're valuable. And when you're valuable, people pay for valuable stuff. All right. And here's how I know. Shows in Vegas. If you want to go to that U2 show, you better get your checkbook dusted off. That thing's going to cost you. All right. And there, the big show when I got there was Bad Bunny. Oh my word. Who in the hell is Bad Bunny? He's someone. He's someone. I thought it was a they. And I thought it was Good Bunny, but it was a Bad Bunny is this guy's name, and he's the hottest thing going right now. If you don't know, oh my word, the people there for Bad Bunny, so great, so great. But you know what? A Bad Bunny ticket's a lot of money. Okay, people pay for value. They'll fly to a city they don't live in. They'll pay a ton of money for the lodging. They'll stand in line to get in, to spend even more money, to bounce around with a bunch of people shoulder to shoulder for 2 hours. That's value. Figure out how to be that. Figure out the value you can provide where people will wait for you. That way you win. Okay. So let's go back to it. Focus. Focus is a key. Focus on being a real estate agent first and foremost. Okay. Lead gen, talk to the people so you know who's doing what and why and when. Okay. You know that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for everyone. Okay. Focus on previewing properties so you know the properties that match up with their wheres and whys and whens. Okay. That's really going to be huge when you start building an off-market inventory. That's where you're really going to win, because then your value exceptionally increases because nobody else knows about it. Okay. And focus on your studies of the market. Are prices going up? Are they going down? Are they flat? Are days on market up, down, flat? Number of listings, number of sales, number of pendings, up, down, or flat. Not rocket science. Not rocket science. But it is some work, and it is a commitment to being really good. But if you can do that, and you can do that, you can do that. You can absolutely do that.
John, can I say something?
Yeah.
I go to Lowe's, even though
Thank
it's
you for
less
coming to
convenient.
Lowe's.
Yeah, even though it's less convenient than Home Depot, because and it comes back to previewing. Is it? I know if I need something. When I go into Lowe's, if I ask somebody, they go, "Come with me," and they take me right to the shelf and point what I need. And they know exactly where their inventory is. And I think that's the value, is when an agent really gets to be that kind of, they know their inventory and they go, "Oh, you're looking for this, and it's over this 3 blocks over and over here, and I've already been through that." That's the difference between wandering around in Home Depot, hoping you can find something, and being the person that so knows the store. And we've got a store.
How great is that? How great is that? And let me take you a step further then, Mark. How great is it when that person says, "You know what, here, I'll show you." And they walk to the place and point to the item.
Yeah.
You go, "That's right. Nice." Be that person, because they're not all that person, are they?
No.
No. Oftentimes you'll walk into a place and they know less than you do. And you're grateful they're there just so you can feel like you can ask somebody. Right. So yeah. The one thing I would tell you all is this: you can absolutely control your own destiny if you choose to do so, right? I'm just going to say, and I say this all the time, but talk to the people, lead gen, right? Just talk to the people a little bit more than you've been doing in a hard market, because that's what the hard market requires. Talk to them a little bit more so you understand where they're going to go, when they go, why they're going, when they're going, where they're going, all those things. That information is key to your being able to satisfy their needs, not only their wants. Because if you give people what they want, I heard somebody say, if you give people what they want, back when Henry Ford was building cars, they would have wanted a faster horse. You give them, I think Steve Jobs said that. Give them what they need. Ask them questions, figure out what they're trying to do, and then give them what they need. And so if you're lead generating, you can do that. And if you're previewing properties, you can identify their needs and their wants and match it up with what is available, both online and offline products, right? So great. And if you study the market, you will know the trends so you can give them good advice on what may be coming based on past results. And that is vital to people who are buying and selling real estate. And you'll be a huge, huge part of their financial consideration. What a great thing. They'll tell their friends about it. And that's helpful for everyone. So yeah, that's what you do. So that was my takeaway in a nutshell. Same as it ever was. Let's focus on being better than we ever were. Okay. Do that. And I think we win. All right, guys, you got something to add? I kind of monopolized that, but I don't know.
Imagine that.
Yeah. We'll get more. Do me a favor. Come up with some questions tomorrow. If you have questions about anything, everything, whatever. And let's talk about them. But this is another thing I found out. This is a good forum. It's good to learn. It's good to talk to other people. Crowdsourcing information is unbelievable and very special. So thank you all for being on here. This is cool. Very, very cool. Anybody got anything?
I would just say,
go ahead, Mark.
well, the Destin team meeting today, we're going to be going a little bit further, talking about value with buyers and preparation of delivering on that value, especially with the changes that are coming in the industry.
It's a good opportunity right there.
Next year in February is family reunion. Apparently it's going to be in Vegas again. Those of you that say you didn't have enough money this year, save up the money and go. It'll fire you up to get you through the next 6 months, and you'll learn things. That's all.
Yep. Just keep track of what. I'll give you one more thing. Just figure out what it goes back to who you are. Who are you? What is the problem you're solving? Figure that out. This guy said, this stuck with me. I'll give you another thing here. Who you are or who you're going to help is who you were. And I thought that was really good. Who were you when you needed help the most? If you can figure out how to help that person, you're going to be authentic and very good. Right? So I'll give an example. I didn't come from a wealthy family, so I didn't know how to build wealth. Okay. I didn't know. I had some thing in my mind, Social Security. Okay. Maybe some 401k, IRA, ERA, one of the A's, whatever, right? Save money, work hard, Johnny, and save some money. Right. That was kind of where it ended. I didn't know. Nobody told me time value of money in a way that I got. Nobody explained to me the value and how valuable it will be if I bought an investment property as opposed to doing some other things. Nobody explained to me how little money you really need to invest, because banks will give you money, other people give you. I always thought it's really expensive, so I can't do it. It takes way too long, so I'll just figure it out when I get old. Yeah, I'll have 2 more beers. Anybody else want to go on this trip with me over here? And I'm going to do this, right? And you just put it in the back of your mind, and it nags at you like your taxes. Oh, God. Well, I'll figure it out when it comes time.
Yeah.
Your time going to come. Who is it? It's time. Oh, shit. Right?
That's right.
That's the way it works for most people. So that's my thing. That's my problem I'm solving. But just think about who were you and help that person. And because there's other people with that. Or not. Okay, let's go to work. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Glad you're back.